No one's scared. No one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The audio's also rolling. Sick. Well, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I
So
don't know why I said welcome.
Immediately, hard question. So our name on IG is Curry Bradshaw.
Yes.
As in Carrie Bradshaw's brown cousin, I guess. You go by Bradshaw.
I do.
What's the story there?
Ooh.
Hard questions.
Hard questions. That's a good question, actually. When I started, to be honest, I didn't think that much about like when I get off stage, no one's gonna call me Curry Bradshaw like James Bond.
Sure.
Like, you know?
Fair.
So they started calling me Curry, and like a lot of people were like, a lot of brown comics were like, I'm not calling you that. Like they were just against it. And then like
Fucking brown people, bro.
Do white people eat it up though? Or are they like?
at first they were really uncomfortable, and then they're like,
That's even funnier.
no, for sure. And I was enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then after like 6 months, I was like, this is starting to feel a little weird.
Yeah, if it gets annoying for you, that's you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And to be honest, when people call me Curry, I didn't really like the sound of that.
Sure.
So I was like, oh man, I got to do something. It's almost one of those things too, where it's like you're giving permission to the wrong people to call you something that has been a caricature or like a derogatory term for your people for so long. So I'm like, am I going to allow this? You know? So I had to change it up. And I was like, okay, I asked comics to start calling me Bradshaw.
Sure.
And so that kind of bled out into the public. And so now when people call me Curry, I just correct them.
Sure.
You know, it's just like, just call me Bradshaw. And most people are respectful. Like
Yeah,
at the
of course.
beginning, I was like, man, this is going to be so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on? What is your name? It's also like not my real name. So
Sure.
people are just like already, there's that. So like, I just felt like I was pissing people off, but like, whatever. Most people are respectful.
Yeah.
And
My sister's gamer tag, I think, is Curry Ogre.
oh no.
Oh no, that's her IG handle too.
IG handle too.
Yeah.
Sick.
The Curry Ogre.
I love
Yeah.
I
that.
love it. It's so funny.
That's
So good.
hilarious. That's
That's
you got
really
to
good.
appreciate the irony and all of it.
Yeah,
It's funny,
fucking
yeah.
whatever. No, that's
What-
cool.
What made you not want to go with your real name?
So, man, my government name is really popular. It's both like a really popular Muslim name and a really popular Bengali name.
Mm.
Like there's a
You
journalist.
want to guess?
No. I don't want to guess.
Do you want to guess?
Nope, not me.
Like there's a popular journalist here in Ontario. She's a medical journalist. She has the same name as me. Every time I do like services here, it could be like nails, dentist, doesn't matter. I always get confused by someone else in the system. So they'll ask me for an alternate name. That always happens. My credit card has been charged wrongfully. Yeah, I've had to fight people for my domain name when I was using like my government. It's just been a nightmare, to be honest. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna start putting myself out there really publicly,
Sure.
then I want to use a name that people are gonna remember. It'll be memorable, it'll be funny, and it worked, to be honest.
Yeah,
At the beginning, I wasn't really like getting booked because of my talent. I was getting booked because of the name, to
Sure.
be honest.
Amen.
So I mean,
Huh.
it worked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have that popular name problem too. I think I have one of the most popular Gujarati names.
What's
Really?
your full name?
Rahul Mehta.
Oh man.
It's just a last name though.
The only way it could be more popular is if it was Rahul Patel.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's almost no way. I can't get anything.
Yeah.
I've had to get I can't get anything with just my first name, last name.
Do you have it like as a domain name though? Did you like snag?
I tried.
Oh man.
I tried.
Yeah.
Some dude has a manifesto up on rahulmehta.com.
Stop.
I didn't read the whole thing, but it was like it's like
Manifesto of what?
I didn't read
Yeah,
it.
wait.
What the hell?
No, it's just like text on a page with one picture, like an old ass dude. I don't know. I didn't even bother looking. Maybe I should though. Maybe I
Okay.
have an audience
Related.
waiting.
Interesting.
Could I hijack his SEO somehow?
I think you can. There's got to be a way.
No.
For a long time, my solution
You're
was
like,
just
Art,
to
no.
slap the in front of it.
Oh, the real name.
Yeah, and that's how I got my
Yeah.
initial name when I was like producing in like high school and early university. I was going by Therm. It was just my initials.
Oh, that makes sense.
smart.
Stupid as fuck.
I always think of
No,
like,
but that's smart, though.
you know, the band The Internet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Their thing was like, as soon as our name pops up first on Google, like that's how we know we got successful. They like
Mhm.
won the SEO battle for
Yep.
the internet.
100%.
I think that's a funny way to look at your career. To be like, can I win this SEO war?
Yeah.
And you're up.
Yeah.
Hey man, if I do, that'd be nuts.
Right?
That'd be
It's
crazy.
actually interesting because like when I started, I pursued a trademark license.
Yeah.
And the trademark license to get confirmed takes like years. And because I started performing regularly, I guess the internet did its thing. And then I grabbed like the Google business name. So now if you search me, I will be the first thing that you that you see on the internet. So I think I won the Google
You did? So
internet
if I searched Curry
search.
Bradshaw, you're up there?
Early on.
I'm
Amazing.
like right there. But then that also helped me get the license because it kind of works like a chicken and egg thing where
Yeah.
like they won't actually give you it until
You have
is it
to
there?
play
Yeah.
to it.
Boom.
Wow. Proof is in the pudding.
Entertainer.
The
Wow.
proof is in the
Yes.
pudding.
Let me entertain you, baby.
That's amazing.
All day, every day, baby. It sounds very sexual, actually. Now that I think about it.
Should
Oh my
add some
goodness.
wild
You won,
hours
you
to
won.
that. Just do like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or something.
Interesting.
Just add that on Google just for shits and gigs.
Might
Watching
as
you
well.
try to put this together is a great sideshow. It's pretty funny.
I literally try to Google it too. Nothing's coming.
No, of course. What the fuck would you search? Puzzle?
6 box with a triangle indent.
Yo, you know what's funny? If I meet somebody who is incapable of using Google effectively, great sign that we probably have nothing.
In common?
No, we haven't. We're never going to overlap professionally ever.
It's probably an age gap though, no? Like
No,
my
bro.
parents don't know
I've
how to
met
use Google
plenty
effectively.
of. No, I mean, yes, there is some grace for age, but I've met plenty of people who are working professionals.
Yeah.
and cannot Google to save their lives.
Show them movement search and it blows their mind.
Yeah, it's not
Wow.
happening. So ChatGPT and shit might actually do the world a bit of a service and bring up the bar for intelligence a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
Interesting.
You can't Google it, at least GPT it or some shit. Don't ask me.
Do you ever like tell your parents to Google you?
No, my parents don't really know I do stand up. So
That would have been a good move. For all of us to avoid all this headaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they've seen me perform stand up one time.
Sure.
It was like last year at this show called the Muslim Women's Showcase. I don't really do clean material, but that was the only time I did clean material. So they came and saw me. My mom didn't really react. And my dad was just like, have you done this before? That's all he asked me. And I said, yes, I did. And then that was it. And then they just left. So
Yeah.
Wow.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the implication that this was like your first time doing it and they didn't like it?
I think my mom was really like, what is this? Like she was not having it. Also
no.
because like Curry Bradshaw, as you can imagine, Sex in the City, dating, sex, relationships, those are like the central themes of what I talk about. But in that context, I wasn't able to talk about like sex per se, but I talked about like my interest and desire in men. So I don't think she was like happy about that in general. But my dad he's an engineer by trade, but he's also an artist. So I think I get that from him. So I think he was really proud. Like he had his phone out and he was like kind of videotaping. He wasn't fully understanding what was happening, but he was like,
Good enough.
cool. Yeah, I was like, this is cool.
Sick.
Yeah. And I shouted them out in my performance. I like bled jokes in that like had to do with them. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, they don't know I do stand up mostly.
Huh.
Yeah.
You're the first person that I've ever had a conversation with that's doing stand up like seriously. So I'm very curious to know what that's even like.
Whoa.
In any angle you want to take it. But I guess I have a lot of exposure to stand up as a consumer, but like
Yeah.
never been adjacent to somebody who actually does it professionally with any serious intent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, what is the question? It's so loaded. I don't even know where to.
I mean, okay, let's start here. Just choosing to do stand up.
Mhm.
First, you got to get over the hump of like, hey, I got to get my sea legs.
Mm.
Then you got to come up with material. Then you, at some point, you probably have to ask yourself, is this material a good reflection of what I want to be talking about?
Right.
Then you iterate. Then you have
Yes.
to redo material. So, I mean, there's a bunch of steps there. So maybe like
Yeah,
right from
man.
the start, like
Oh God. Okay.
getting into it.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
Sure.
So, I initially started stand up in 2018.
Mhm.
And I was like, I did it like a stand up course at Second City. And when I finished that showcase, it's like, you perform, all of your classmates get to like bring their friends and family.
Nice.
And then like you perform for them. And what was cool about that is like after the show, all of like other classmates' friends, like my friends were always like supportive no
Sure.
matter what.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to tell when your people are going to love you no matter what and
Yeah,
show
yeah.
you support and love, right? But when other people's friends, they're like, no, you need to be doing this. Like this is good. And even my teacher of that class was like, you should be doing this. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I was like, whoa, like I never got that reaction before.
Mhm.
And I had a pretty shitty partner at the time, and I was like, I told him that I wanted to pursue this, and he's like, well, it's gonna, take 10 years for you to like get anywhere. So I was like,
I mean, it's
okay.
true of anything you want to do.
I was like, duh.
Seriously, like, yeah.
So it starts now. What the fuck is the problem?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, unfortunately, like, I listened to him. I believed him, and I just like quit. I did get booked like 5 times, and then I like bombed in all of them. So I'm like, why did anyone say that I was good at this? I suck. So I just like gave up. And then flash forward to like pandemic being over, I dumped his ass. And then
Congratulations.
thank you. And then I also had like, so it broke up. There was a death that happened, and someone betrayed me. And I think I was just in this position where I was like so fed up of like being in this like, and I've always done the arts. Like I've always, I was in the remix project. I did photography.
Okay.
I did graphic design. I was always behind the scenes. I worked in film. I have screenwriting background. I have so many like, I've done it all because it's like my dad has that capability.
Sure.
He's like multi-talented. He's built things, built furniture. He can do anything. So like I think I get it from him. Like I can do a lot of things and I can do them all well. It's just a matter of what I want to do.
Right.
So I think I was in this position where like I felt like I was supposed to be in the background almost. And like in my life, it played out such that I was always like a victim in scenarios, in relationships with people. So I think it was like a breaking point for me, those 3 things. And I just went on stage because I was angry. So like it was like December 2022, didn't tell any of my friends. And like for 2 weeks, I just went to like 15 open mics and I just like kept going. Kept going. Oh, yeah. And I met this girl like the first night that I did it. She's never done stand-up comedy before. So we both went together. We were like buddies with each other.
That's nice, yeah.
And it was intense, man, because stand-up comedy spaces are predominantly male. A lot of them are misogynistic. There's a lot of incels. It's just really not safe. I've had men tell me to get off the stage, to shut up. They call me a bitch, whatever it is. And so I pushed I was just mad. So I was like, you're not going to stop me. Keep calling me a bitch. No problem. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to have a mic in my hand and you're still going to have to listen to me whether you like it or not. So,
Hell yeah.
And then I got booked after doing that. I think that's when I was telling you like, people didn't necessarily know what I was talking about, but they knew my name. They're like, Curry Bradshaw. Who's Curry Bradshaw? So they started booking me. And my first booking was in like March of 2023. And then it's just been a ride since then. So I'm not going to lie. It's pretty difficult. Like I've been in and out of jobs, like full-time jobs, struggling to like find work again, trying to find peace with like, it's been cool because on the one hand, there's this artistic life that's making me meet like incredible artists as well, other artists as well, who are like providing me with opportunity or like things like this that I don't think would have ever happened. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, most times I'm like, am I a 35-year-old loser? Like, like pursuing this? I don't know. I don't have a job. Like, and then on the other side, people are like, you're so amazing. Like you just sold out a show in New York. Like this is, it's so confusing. Like,
totally.
It's so confusing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the automatic trade-off. As soon as you decide that you're not going to, I say this with no actual disdain for like full-time jobs, but like, or like jobs that have determined career tracks. I mean, that's what I do outside of all the stuff I want to be doing.
Sure.
But it's like, yeah, you automatically, like, you're gonna have to rely on yourself to gut check yourself until, I mean, at some point I'm sure you have a circle that you can trust enough, but yeah, you gotta gut check yourself. And I think that's why it's so dangerous if you don't have a good head on your shoulders, or you're just incapable of managing your own temperament and approach and work. Like no one's gonna check you. You're not gonna get performance reviews. Like you're not there's no guarantee that you're getting a raise, even if it's minor. Like, yeah. Sure. So all that being said, like making a jump to do something immediately, I'm assuming comes with like some intensity or something to prove. You kind of put a chip on your own shoulder for a while.
100%.
Do you feel like that's been your experience? And beyond that, even like, do you think that's something that'll fade if it hasn't yet. Like the chip on your shoulder. I have a huge chip on my shoulder for what it's worth. So
yeah. I mean, at the beginning, it was certainly stronger. Like,
Sure.
I think I was known as like this like feministy, angry comic. I think people were kind of scared of me, which is what I wanted, to be honest. I was like, good, you should be. And I think, but I had to like, I think I got over this thing where it's like, it's not enough that I'm like a woman of color, like all of these Muslim intersectionalities. It's actually like, am I funny to anyone, period.
yeah.
So I need to get over being mad or whatever the fuck and just be funny. So that took like a year because initially I
Sure.
did have a chip on my shoulder. I did have something to prove to everybody. The intention was that, you know, I just felt like I wasn't being heard in my day-to-day life, you know, at personal life, work life, anywhere. I just felt like I was not in this position where people were listening to me. So being mad and doing something is like not good ever. Like, you
For
know what I
sure.
mean? Like, that's not a good reason to do.
Well, I guess
To a
they're
certain point,
kind of
right?
different things, right? Like there's being mad, but then there's having some like, there's like this intangible thing about doing what you're doing where you're like, I have to get yay good.
Mm-hmm.
That line might keep moving. And I feel like as we do more and as we put out more work, that line just keeps moving farther and farther for us.
That's true.
Because I see what's possible the closer we get to whatever we're gunning for at the time.
I could also see that being kind of a moving target, right? It's like I want to prove these people wrong by succeeding, and then when you succeed, you realize that they don't really care, and then you're just left with your own sort of like resentment to work through. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a moving goalpost. I think that's probably not the right fuel to
I agree.
to,
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
I do wonder though, for like comedy in particular though, a lot of your material likely has to be informed by either experience or observation.
Yeah.
So you got to live a life like before you do anything, and at some point you start writing so ferociously. Let's say you put out all this material and now you got to live a life again for a little bit.
Yeah.
What's that in between bridge time like when you're not necessarily writing or making things and you're more
Just living.
living it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm approaching it right now, actually. I'm doing my last show next week.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't book me.
Sure.
Don't fucking, I'm just going to live my life.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in this interesting phase though, because like when I started stand up, I had a very particular, and I still do very much have a particular purpose of like what I'm trying to talk about and what I'm trying to achieve. I always have. And all my comedian like peers, they know that because they've seen me develop it like
Sure.
for the past 2 years. So I'm working towards like a special, like an hour-long special
Yeah.
that basically provides like my backstory, because the backstory informs like who I am today. But that stuff has like kind of already been developed. I just want to push it out sooner rather than later so that
Sure.
people have the backstory, so that now I can start talking about just the life stuff.
Right.
So that didn't really answer your question, but
No, I mean,
I
it's-
guess like
it's sort of open ended because I guess the answers that you could have had is that two, it's like you're constantly writing and there's really no like there's really no ebb and flow. Some maybe like an experience will inform like a previous bit and you have to like change the bit going forwards.
Yep.
How much material can you like carry forwards as you go? And doing even an hour, like have you typically been doing shorter sets in an hour?
Yeah, I think I have like so much content that it has built to an hour.
Yeah.
I just haven't put it together in like an order. And that's kind of why I take breaks so that I put everything on cue cards and then I have the bullet points on the other side, and then I figure out how can this be told in a way that makes cohesive sense to the public. And then it's a lot because it's not just my work. It's I consume a lot of stand-up content as well to see like how are other people do. I'm studying other people.
Anyone stand out to you right now?
What's that?
Anyone interesting?
Oh my God,
that stands out to
so
you right
many
now?
people. There's a woman named Atsuko Okutsakai. I really hope I'm not
Close enough.
fucking
No,
up her
that's
name.
fine.
She's so funny. just
Just
bleep it out
Yeah.
in post. She's really fucking funny. Ali Wong, obviously. Michelle Buteau. Zainab is a really good one. Zainab Johnson. Ilana Glazer. The other Ilana. There's so many. There's so many. how much time do you guys have? Oh my God, they're mostly women.
I was gonna ask. I noticed they're mostly women.
Yeah, they're mostly women. There are men that I like too. Yeah, I really like Trevor Noah, for example. I like Dave Chappelle, even though it's controversial. I still do like the
I mean,
man.
he's a
It's
legend
controversial
for
if you,
good
like,
reason, I guess.
super care.
Yeah. Joe K.
Mm-hmm.
Joe K? Joe
Yeah, Joe-
Coy.
Coy?
Wrong person.
Joe K is a producer. I
Joe
think.
K's Selection.
Yeah.
Joe Coy
K's Selection,
is
yeah.
is the comedian.
Yeah. I saw Joe Coy's like one special way back. Thought it was
How was it?
hilarious. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think it was
so
the one where
good.
he's talking about his kids as like growing up.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty funny.
Yeah. He's really funny. So many. There's also like local people that I love, and I just everywhere I go to, I just keep meeting them, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I can't even lie. Like, you're a comedian, and sometimes you're in a club and you're rubbing shoulders with people who have like specials, you
Sure.
know, and you're like, this is so cool. Why are you even here? Imposter syndrome is happening like constantly, you know. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, it's cool.
With that many people around, especially if they're like people who've hit a goal that maybe you haven't yet,
mhm.
I'm sure a lot of these people have had crazy bumps through their careers.
Yeah.
Like, some maybe self-inflicted, some maybe not so self-inflicted. Like, I do wonder when as I'm putting a lot of things on this word comedian for you, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I do imagine there's like part of it is you have to just say what you actually think about things. Oftentimes it's probably not going to be well received.
Yeah.
If you do have an audience that's not necessarily like a comedy following audience.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you've ever like worried about or thought about as you do your thing?
Yes. I mean, the words we say have an impact on people, and I'm certainly conscious about that, and
Sure.
like trying not to hurt people or like make generalizations about people. So I think it's definitely something I think about. Have I made mistakes? Yes, I have. Of course.
But have those mistakes ever paid off? Because I can imagine there's probably jokes that you maybe are scared to tell for those exact reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason they resonate well and they resonate with the audience and it pays off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a joke I make about being in a toxic and abusive relationship, and the way I have the punchline for that joke either really hits every single time or it gets radio silence. But like, I feel the need to say it because, and that's the thing. I feel like if you're a good comic, you're going to say things that people don't want to say out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm speaking for people who have been through this type of particular situation and making fun of a situation that you wouldn't normally think to make fun of.
Yeah, of course.
So, I like to say that because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. And a lot of what I do in stand-up is challenging perceptions of me. So like, I dress up on stage. So already people are like, what is she going to talk about? Like they already have whatever, but I do it on purpose because at least if they don't even care about what I'm saying, they'll be like, oh, she looks good. So we're already listening. Doesn't matter what she says, right? and then they're listening anyways, and then I get them with the stories. I forgot what I was trying to say with this.
I was mostly just like juggling, like not pulling punches for the sake of other people. Well, I mean, look, I guess there's like a difference between intentionally getting out there and trying to fuck with people versus just doing what you think is funny.
Yeah.
And just finding your crowd.
Yeah.
And like dealing with the bad overlap that happens between the two.
Yes. I think the latter is what I relate to more. It's like, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying it because
sure.
I think
it makes you laugh.
Because it makes me laugh.
Yeah,
And I'm laughing at
I mean,
sure.
at least as a fan of comedy,
Yeah.
you definitely would hate to see somebody who you feel like you've seen pull punches and they're pulling punches now.
Yeah.
I feel like that discredits you so much.
Yeah.
At least from my
think that's kind of
consumer's eye.
What happened with like Dave Chappelle, I guess,
Yeah,
right? It felt like he was no longer self-deprecating or like making commentary on his own sort of culture and sort of pulling, like you said, pulling punches, and I think that's
Was he
probably
pulling
why.
punches? I don't feel like he's pulling any
You
punches.
don't think so?
Not
Do we
really.
want to? Do we want to have that conversation?
Maybe I haven't seen it.
I don't know. Do you want to?
I don't think
We
he's gonna
can.
care.
Yeah.
I talked to him. I
Dave
talked to him.
Chappelle's
He's
gonna
fine.
call us tomorrow. We'll be like,
No, I talked to him, bro. Yeah, we were just actually. No, funny enough, I was walking down like Wellington here.
Yeah.
I walked past Dave Chappelle like this far away.
No way.
And I just had like a starstruck moment because like I've
Sure.
never walked past anyone that famous that I actually like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And immediately my entire body was just like. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, "Yo, that's Dave Chappelle," and he's like right there. He clearly heard me, but he's just with his like friends and guards, I guess. And
Was
he's
he
just kind
deep?
of walking away. Huh?
Was he deep?
What do you mean?
Like how many people was he with?
Like 4? Not
Just,
even
like,
crazy.
Nonchalant out and about.
Yeah,
in
2 of the
streets
guys were
Toronto?
just having a conversation. He's just smoking a cigarette, tank top on, just walking to his
Tank top
hotel.
on? That's
That is
amazing.
So Dave Chappelle.
Nobody
Yeah, yeah.
else noticed he was there, which
That's
I thought was
hilarious.
crazy.
That's
I
amazing.
was just like, and I pointed too because I couldn't literally
I
couldn't
love
help
how
myself.
you're like
I'm
this. You're like, you, Dave Chappelle?
Not even like that. It was way more casual. I initially.
Why do you point like this?
Yeah, why do you point upside down? That's so weird,
No, 'cause
bro.
he was
Like,
next to me, pointing
why is
like
he like
over
this?
here.
Like-
Pointing like this would have been so obvious. I
This
just
is
like
fucking like prostate exam, bro. Like,
Right? Like,
I'm telling you, it just happened. Like I didn't mean to. I was walking with Mark Emery, and
yeah,
I kept talking to Mark, but as we get closer and closer, I just like slowly start losing
control your body.
attention. Yeah, I'm like, wait, and then yeah, it was fucking Dave Chappelle. So,
yeah.
anyways,
That's
okay,
crazy.
so
Yes.
he's pulling punches. Better
Um,
fucking stop pulling punches.
Yeah, I mean, how do we
What
Approach
does
this
pulling punches
conversation.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
just
understand what you're talking about,
just
bro.
like-
I think
punching for
I
no
think the
reason.
common critique was that he was punching down, but the way I think I see it is that I felt like he was making crass jokes about stereotypes about a community that he doesn't really know about, and so it just felt like disingenuous and not funny to me. And I love Dave Chappelle; he's my favorite comedian of all time.
Yeah.
I just felt like those sets, they just didn't feel like funny
I don't think I ever thought about it
in
that
the
much.
way that I looked at it. I know maybe you probably never psychoanalyzed this. At
No, I
all,
mean, I
but
didn't love.
I
the,
have had-
I didn't
had these
love the
debates with other
special, but
people.
like I didn't think about it. I didn't really think about why I didn't care about it. I just kind of ignored it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
mostly.
you didn't think about why it wasn't funny?
I didn't really think about it. I just watched it and I was like, all right, I seen it. I moved on.
You're like, yeah, it's okay.
Interesting.
It's not one that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
No.
I think for me, it's like 2 things can be true at the same time. He could
Yeah,
still be a
absolutely.
goat
Yeah,
and he could still be wrong.
still
And,
fallible.
yeah, like-
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
2 things. That's why it's like, I still like Dave Chappelle and respect so much of what he's done,
Yeah.
you know, for the community, for
He's
the
a legend.
He's a legend. That
Yeah.
is undeniable.
For sure.
And I can still disagree with the fact that he's punching down to a community that he doesn't understand. And I also
Yeah.
understand that he's representing himself, which is all he can really do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He is a man of a certain age group,
Yeah, yeah.
of a certain group of people that didn't grow up around the things that we are now getting exposed to, growing up around, being okay and comfortable with.
Mhm.
And that's okay. He needs to represent that.
Yeah,
He can
sure.
only be himself. He can't be anything other than himself. And in trying to bridge the gap or like speak to people of his age group by speaking to that community, which he does not know very well, he was just trying to bridge a gap. And I
Mhm.
think what bothers me with that is that now he keeps doing it. Now he's just sticking
yeah.
to them. And it's
For the
just,
sake of being
I feel like
just
I'd
for the
probably
sake
do
of
the
being
same thing,
controversial.
truthfully.
Huh?
I'd probably do the same thing if a bunch of people were just telling me not to do something.
Oh, yeah, there's probably a bag behind it.
That's
Oh,
probably it's probably a
100%.
huge part of
I,
it.
can't, I, actually, I heard
100%.
another comedian say this though, and it reminded me of this and resonated pretty true. And he's like, a good joke is getting away with it. He's like,
Mhm.
if you say a joke and people are offended, you didn't get
Mhm.
away with it, and
Sure.
it probably wasn't funny enough.
Right.
Yeah,
The way you get away with it is by it actually being a funny joke.
Mm.
And so like that,
good
I think
joke
that
is a good
critique
joke.
was in critique to Dave Chappelle. It's like you didn't get away with it because the joke wasn't funny enough,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is a ballsy thing to say to like one of the greatest comedians of all time. But
Yeah.
I do kind of agree. Like I felt that special didn't really land really well for me at least.
Yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
a
you'll be
shame.
surprised. I'll be at open mics and I'll see comics do some racist, homophobic, misogynistic content, and I am dying of laughter.
Yeah, hell yeah. If it's
Like,
written
Like,
well,
it is
I wasn't-
fucked up,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
am laughing.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know how like what the opinion on this dude is like broadly in comedy, but I'm fucking obsessed with all
Who?
of this. Shane Gillis, obviously.
I was gonna say Shane Gillis.
I don't know
Shane,
Shane
Gillis
Gillis.
gets away with everything
Bro,
because
Shane
he's
Gillis-
funny. He's fucking funny. Same with Theo Vaughn.
I'm fucking obsessed.
He gets away with
that
everything.
Podcast too. I've like all day. They're like my boys, just sitting in the back, just chatting shit all
yeah,
day.
yeah, they're good. They're
so funny.
Cool.
but he constantly gets away with it. Well, actually, no,
He got kicked off SNL,
he got kicked off SNL, but
but he
Oh,
got
shit.
he got called back because he just got huge.
he just
And they're like,
They're
like, come
"Yo,
back.
You got the numbers. Come back.
Yeah,
Come back. We need you.
Basically, like the jokes he does are pretty fucking like. I wouldn't even say they're foul. They're just like I would never be comfortable making that joke in public.
yeah.
Behind closed doors,
Yeah.
I'm on a tear.
For instance,
For sure.
though, like you've seen the set that Shane does about Down syndrome people, right?
Yeah, his cousin, right?
And his cousin has
Like,
Down syndrome.
shit.
his cousin
right?
making
But it's something he
cheese-
can speak to intimately. Imagine if his cousin wasn't.
his uncle. His
Oh,
uncle
his
making
uncle.
cheese
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sandwiches.
But imagine if
sneaking them
he
into
didn't have
restaurants.
like a family member with Down syndrome and he was making those Down syndrome jokes.
Oh,
It would-
100%.
It would not land the same way, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Okay, so bring it back to
Yes.
contextualizing
sorry,
it for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
How's that?
You
Not
wanted to
me,
go
you
into that.
guys. Remember me? I'm sitting
Yes,
here.
yes.
That was your
But-
fault. You probed that.
No, but that's my point. I'm trying to ask that question in context to you
you.
and the scene that you've experienced so far.
Yes.
How's it feel navigating that? Because I mean, again, I haven't talked to many comedians, and the comedians I've listened to talk about comedy scenes are obviously like forget anyone that doesn't like me, and also like if I'm wrong, I'll just go ahead and apologize and just leave it at that and just keep it moving.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just try to do what feels right. I try to listen. Like sometimes I'll do a set and then someone will talk to me after. Sometimes it's a comic, sometimes it's an audience member. I'll be like, hey, I didn't really like what you said.
Yeah.
But I still
really?
but I still have to make a decision. Like I'm still a, what's the word called? A critical thinker. So I'm not going to just listen to everyone that has a comment. But like when I know it's right, when it's like when someone provides you constructive criticism versus just a criticism, you know the difference.
Sure.
So when
Absolutely.
it's
Intelligent
constructive,
criticism is helpful.
yeah, you're like, oh, that's a good point. So for example, like at the beginning, a lot of what I talk about like is sex, dating, relationships, and when I would talk about that stuff, I would be very much like, men are like this, women are like this, and I try not to do that anymore. Instead I just talk about I am like this,
Sure.
or this partner that I was specifically dealing with is like this, instead of generalizing, because like there's a gender thing and then there's also like a broad brush stroke thing, and I don't want people to generalize me because my whole thing is dealing with perceptions people have of me, and that's like, why would I want to do that to a group of people then,
Makes sense.
which is why at the beginning I was known as like this feminist angry comic, and like
I'm devil's advocating a little bit here just for the sake of
let's do
the
it.
examples I can think of. Like I think generalizing is part of it, right? Like even if I think back to some like the older, not super old, but like older comics, like even like, well, an extreme example would be like Russell Peters. His whole thing was jokes about brown people.
Yeah, totally.
Sick. It was funny for years.
yeah.
Then you're just like, all right, like it's not that it's not funny anymore, but I'm just like, you've kind of beat it to death at this point.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, even Dave Chappelle, a long time ago, like his jokes were about his cultural community, and he was generalizing all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like if you get overly specific, do you feel like you lose some of the edge on what you're delivering?
No, because it's about how you deliver the information. If you deliver it in a way that's like, this is political, and you start like getting into the nitty gritty, you've already lost the audience.
Yeah.
So you have to speak in a way that's concise and what's the word I'm looking for? Like gets to the point, like gets to the punchline fast.
Right.
But also like embedding that took some time to like get to a point where like, okay, I'm gonna go on stage and then specify that this is not about all groups of people. I'm gonna specify that, and then I'm like, whoa, and then I would watch myself back. I'm like, yo, this is taking way too much time.
Right.
I need to figure out how to shorten this, and then I would figure out ways to shorten it. Like,
interesting, yeah. And are there ways of writing where like you don't necessarily have to say it overtly for people to understand that you're speaking about a very specific experience, you know what I mean? Without being like, I guess you gave one example where you said like, all women are like this, or all men are like this. But then like bringing it back to yourself, I guess, how do you let the audience know that you're not going into that territory of like something political or something generalized or?
I distract them by talking about. I distract them by talking about sex.
Yeah, that works.
And like desire and like,
Take a piss. Keep it going.
Yeah.
For sure.
You distract them.
I distract them. I bamboozle them.
Yeah, exactly. What's it like? I've always wanted to ask a comedian this. What's it like actually bombing on stage?
Oh man, I love it. I love
You
bombing.
love it?
Oh yeah. It's terrible, but I fucking love it.
You just like sit in the silence of
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the silence is happening and you're still going.
Oh really?
And you're like, because you want to use all the time that you have on stage.
Right.
Like stage time is a very precious thing to us comics. We're a very time-based art form. So like you oftentimes at open mics is where we practice our bits. And to get to an open mic, you're often putting your name in a bucket and you're waiting for a really long time until you get called. Sometimes 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, so you just wait around until they pull you out of a hat?
Just waiting around.
Holy shit.
And then you're performing to other comics who've also, they're doing the same circuit as you are. So they've already heard your jokes. They're not even laughing anymore.
Oh.
And then, you know, when I was doing my feministy jokes and like men just hate me. So they were just like, male comics, they're like, this is not funny. You're not fucking us, so what are you doing here? Like, they just didn't understand what the fuck I was doing, you know? And I was like, just listen. Listen to me. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I don't know if I answered that question properly. But.
Yeah, well, I guess I was more curious. Like, how long are your sets, first of all? Because I think when you factor in the bombing, it's like, how much of your set are you sitting there in awkward silence waiting to like catch your rhythm again?
Yeah.
And is it even possible to catch your rhythm again? Like, are you recovering from a bomb?
Yes, actually, it is. Yeah, some people can recover from bombs. Yeah. There's like different things that comics do. One is blaming the audience, which is like what you're never supposed to do. Like a lot of comics, like bad comics, will do that. They'll be like, "All right, well, you guys just don't get the joke. It's fucking funny."
Tough
and it's
crowd.
Like, it's just like crowds don't want to hear that because if you suck, bro. Like,
I want to hear about crash outs.
What's that?
Their
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I have for sure. Oh my god, thank you.
Everyone can't hear it.
This is so cute.
Hopefully you're not allergic.
I also dressed like a boy for you guys. Did you guys notice?
I did notice actually.
I just like a hoodlum.
Okay, cool. Me too. Me too.
I dress like what did I dress like? I dress like a wannabe skater, I think.
From Recess.
I like it. I like these patches.
Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah.
This is the I don't know what collection this is. I don't know what.
But you have the Spencer Badu hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Spencer.
Shout out Spencer. Very cool. Where are your socks from? This got like a cartoon.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. My
Dragon
girlfriend
Ball
got
Z.
me these. She thought it was Naruto.
Oh,
is it Naruto?
nice.
No, it's Dragon Ball Z. Oh, okay.
Oh, I love Dragon Ball Z.
I thought I was being gaslit for
I was
a
actually
second.
more a Dragon Ball Z person than a Pokemon person.
Oh, Pokemon. Hot take. Pokemon's for losers.
Yo, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I have never heard that said out loud, and I rate you for that.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna partake in this.
There was one good
Kahoot?
Well,
Pokemon.
fuck you, bro.
Yo,
No, I'm just joking.
Dragon Ball Z.
There's one good thing to come out of Pokemon, and that was some of the classic titles. Pokemon Coliseum was fire. Do you ever play games?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. No.
You ever play games?
No, I haven't.
One of the best games ever.
Oh shit.
My cousin
Pull it up right now.
and I would go there like every
Bro, I probably clock like hundreds of hours on that thing. Anyways, well, if you're not a game player, I won't get into this.
Okay, cool.
Let's. Sorry, I interrupted a thought, but if you feel like you've completely answered his question,
I think I have.
okay.
Did I?
Yeah, sure. Oh, well, you wanted to hear about some crash outs. We were talking about bombing on stage, and then you said you wanted to hear about crash outs.
Yeah.
Have you ever crashed out?
What's a crash out?
Crash out is just like
Welcome
getting
to
a
our
little,
generation,
getting
man.
an unhinged response. Let's call it that.
No. It's
Like from
when
an
you
audience member?
No, from yourself.
freak the fuck out.
Oh shit! Have
Like-
I freaked the?
Oh shit.
You said you were the angry feminist comic. Did you ever feel like you had to lash out at any point?
Yeah, I think I have. There've been
Sick.
I remember one time there was this white guy. The first time actually was wearing this jumpsuit. That's crazy. Just jumpsuit,
Oh.
sweatsuit.
Yeah.
There was a time where I went to an open mic and I was waiting there for so long and I felt so bad because my friend was with me. I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Like, this is gonna take forever.
Yeah.
It was a winter
Good
day.
friend.
Yeah, good friend. Winter day. Put my name in the bucket. I was like one of the last people that was called. And there was a man there from the beginning when I first came there. It was like 9:00. And he was wearing shorts in winter for some reason. White guy. Got completely wasted. And he was talking through not just my set, every single person's set. And then when I went on stage, and one of the things I do like to talk about perceptions of me is like, so I used to wear a hijab before and then I don't wear a hijab anymore. So a lot of what I talk about on stage is like perceptions before and perceptions after. And that's usually how I bring up like sex, dating, and relationships, but I first talk about pretty privilege and like how that happens in my life.
Sure.
So when I start talking about that, he started interrupting me. And then he kept, at first I was ignoring him. I was like, I'm just not going to listen to you.
Was he heckling you or was he just like
he was heckling everybody.
Oh,
He was
shit.
heckling everybody. And then by the time I
That would
got on
be you.
stage, I was just mad, yo. I was
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
and I was
absolutely.
like, I got on stage and I was like, why the fuck are you guys letting, first of all, you put the only woman that's here at like 3 a.m. in the morning when there's literally 4 people left in the building. Second of all, this guy has been heckling every single person. Oh, and the person who owned that joint let that guy go on the microphone. So I was like, and you have the audacity to give this guy that has been not just disrespecting me, disrespecting every fucking person in this space, fucking microphone, wearing shorts with his fucking dick hanging out. It was so weird.
Was it April 1st by any chance?
It was December 21st. So,
Almost
I'll never
Lord's-
forget it.
Almost a Lord's Day. Yeah.
but I fucking,
Jesus sends his greatest tests right before his birthday for sure.
right?
So what did they do with him? What did you do with him?
Well, I just got mad and I fucking obliterated him, and the audience was dying of laughter. Because when I'm angry, I'm really funny.
Sounds like my wife.
So I fucking annihilated that guy, and then I did my set, and the owner came like chasing me after, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta come back, man. Please come back. I'm so sorry. Like I shouldn't have done
Double
that."
your rate.
Yeah, and then I did eventually
Sick.
go back, and yeah, I got. That was one of the clubs that actually rated me first, and then I started getting booked from there. So
Sick.
yeah,
Hey man.
but that was me going local.
Oh, wait, it worked in your advantage though. Really?
Oh, actually, there is another time I went unhinged.
Let's go.
See, it always
You crashed
you can
out.
dig stuff
Yo.
up.
You crashed out.
Okay, so I did a show for this comic who shall not be named, but you can find him. You can find him on my feed.
Voldemort?
I'm gonna let you, the public, figure it out.
Figure it out. Let's go, Jamie. We gotta give Jason a Korean Jamie name. Jamie Jung. Jamie? Joe Rogan? Joe
What?
Rogan's
What are you
young
talking
lad?
Oh, you're our
He's our
Jamie.
Googler.
You're
He's
our
our
Are you a
Jamie.
Googler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Jung.
Jamie Chong. So I performed for this guy who's organizing team, I guess, booked me. He didn't book me, even though I was kind of chasing him around to get booked. The reason I wanted to be on his show, I guess I outed him already. I'm gonna start that again. Them. I'm gonna use them. Just edit out the him, okay?
All right.
So
We're definitely gonna find out who it is.
I want you to. So anyways, you know, I had been trying to like get booked by this person because they have an audience that's predominantly Muslim, and I that was a target audience I had in my mind for a long time. And then they did this like show, and there was like 600 people there, and that was my first time. And like that was 6 months after doing stand up after the pandemic, and I was like scared out of my mind. But I was like, I can't say no to any opportunity. That was like my rule for myself. Like I'll say yes to everything. So I said yes, and I didn't like necessarily bomb, but I didn't necessarily like do great either. I was just like middle of the pack. And I think because I was saying things like I wore a hijab first and then I didn't wear a hijab, and I think I said something in a weird way, and majority of the audience were hijabis. So I think I kind of turned them in the wrong direction. But then when I finished my set, he went on stage. Keep the he. He went on stage.
Yeah, this is a lot of post work. No,
I know.
Yeah.
Not trying to do this
I'm
much
so
post
sorry.
work.
I'm so
Nothing's
sorry.
getting edited at this point. Yeah.
So he goes on stage and he said, like, and I didn't know this until after, because like I'm backstage and I was really pissed off and I was like mad at myself because I had forgotten some lines, and like the comics were like patting me on the back and like, oh man, don't worry about it. It's your first time. Like this, no one's gonna remember this. Like don't even think about it. So I was in that moment, so I wasn't really listening to what he was saying on stage. And I think one of the first things he said was like, oh man, bombing is hard, you know. And then he said something about bombing again, and then he said something about bombing again, and I found out that he said that from like 6 different groups of people that were on stage that are not friends with each other. Like they were all sitting in different areas and like, yo, you know, he said this about you after, and I was like, what the fuck? Damn. So I was mad. I was big mad because here's someone that I respected for so long, who's also, you know, Muslim and is in this society as like this public figure of like this, you know, good Samaritan or whatever. You know, and then I reflected back on a lot of other stuff that I won't say here that reflected on this person as a character.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I complained about it for a week with like my comedian friends. I wanted to consult other people to see like, am I going crazy? Because the audience felt this way. And everyone I lost that were hijabis, at that point when he mentioned the bombing thing, they were like, yo, say bombing one more time. Because the girls now are on my side. Because, you know, they're like, that was an interesting.
That is interesting.
That's, you know, these things that you can't really, you won't really know until an audience member tells you that this is what happened.
Yeah.
So I allowed myself to complain about it for a week, and then I went to an open mic and I talked about him on stage. I said, I didn't really mention the name. I just said, this is what happened. He said this after on stage, and then the audience was like, oh man. And I was like, yeah, people ask me, sorry, I'm like trying to breathe and I'm like not breathing. I'm like getting excited. I'm getting excited. I actually haven't told anyone this since that, because I allowed myself to talk about it for 1 week. I said, you know, he said this on stage. They're like, oh my God, no way. And then I'm like, yeah. And then people asked me if I was mad about it. And I was like, I wasn't mad. I was just horny. So now I'm going to fuck all his friends. I'm going to make everyone around him wonder what this bomb ass pussy feels like. And he's just going to be left wondering. He's just going to be left wondering. And then I just kept it moving. And I just like said a whole bunch of other jokes.
That's good.
Yeah. So like I've never had that before where like it felt really good to release that. And I was like, yo, you can't do that shit again.
Yeah, no. That was probably cathartic though,
It
like
was
for
so
like get off my
cathartic
chest.
in the moment, because like after that, mad people came up to me. They're like, yo,
Yeah. All of his friends start sliding your DMs and shit. They're like, like, yo, you said that shit on stage. Like, what's up?
yeah, this pussy ain't free. So
That's hilarious.
none of y'all are getting this pussy. So
That's crazy. But it's fucked up that like headliners do that, because I can't imagine like in any other, like imagine going to a concert and the headlining act is like, man, that opener was fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're telling the
Comedians
audience
do that.
how to feel. It's it's disrespectful.
but believe it or not, that's not the first time I've heard that. Like I've seen, I've even been to comedy shows where the headliner does that, and I'm like, it's just weird. It's a weird vibe, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the most difficult part about the industry for me, to be honest. I'm a deeply sensitive person, and a lot of this industry is personality management, and you're dealing with people who have huge egos, you know? I mean, myself included. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you know, but like I try my best to like have respect for people and stuff like that, but it's really, really hard because that's the industry that we're in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was a really good story. That was
A year later, I wanted to say that.
yeah.
Deep breath.
A year from now, we'll probably come out again. It'll be like an anniversary every year, just like bring the shit
That
back
could be an
up.
evolving bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for me.
Or maybe one day he'll be opening for you and you can do the same shit.
Yeah, he'll never open for me, but
That would be amazing.
True.
You get no money.
you get no
You're
money.
not getting paid
me.
from me, but yeah. I love that.
All right. So, hard cut. Outside of stand up, what are you into?
Oh man, dance. I love to dance. I actually, the year that I wanted to do, so my thing is like comedy, acting, and dancing, like on camera acting. I think I would suck at it. Let's just be very clear. I think I would suck at acting, but
It's like role dependent. I feel like people say that a lot. It's like acting.
Yeah.
Largely good actors are probably people who have a shit ton of range, but whether you're good or not at acting really probably comes down to what the role is.
yeah, that's probably true. And I guess I worked like behind the scenes and film sets a lot, so I'm like, man, I can't do what these people do like, at all.
But
I have to like get trained for it.
I also see like a lot of the casting for stuff that I watch now. I don't know if this is like a new trend, but I feel like a lot of the casting that people do, they try to cast people as themselves.
Yeah, they do.
Like-
especially comedians. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, Ali Wong, one of the movies that she does, they try to make the character.
Yeah, you're playing Ali.
She was
her.
in-
Yeah,
She was in Beef, right?
she was in Beef.
That show's
Always
amazing.
Be My Maybe. That movie with
My girlfriend did watch that, and
I love that movie.
I like 30% watched it, I think, in Periphery.
Mm.
So I just have no idea what it was about.
It's a rom-com.
Yes, that much I figured out. That's probably all I could tell you.
I love rom-coms because I love love.
Are
I
you?
don't know.
Do you like Hallmark rom-coms? So?
No, those are terrible.
Okay.
Does
Wait,
Hallmark
but do
even
you still
rom-coms?
watch them? Even if you think that? Yeah. Okay. I had to make that distinction because
Yes, I do.
yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Those
funny.
those are actually fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to say something. What was the thing you were talking about right before? You were mentioning people,
Dance.
Oh,
actors, dance,
Acting.
Yeah.
particular types of acting. Blah, 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 blah.
Behind the camera.
No, I think it was particular types of acting. I was on set for, not on set, but I was an audience member for Family Feud Canada once.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know this.
Bro, watching them retake the answers.
No way.
I was
They
like,
do that?
yeah. They're
Oh, I
like,
didn't know
we didn't quite
that.
like that take. Let's get that answer again. Same answer. Just do it again.
No way.
I was like,
I didn't know they did that.
Bro, what? It's so weird.
Wow.
They still win the money though. Like this is it the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time?
So you still give the answer, but they'll reshoot the answer. And you know that lightning round at the end? One
yeah,
time
yeah.
they did the lightning round, reshot the lightning round.
Damn.
The competing guy had that entire time to think about what he was going to say. Fucking bombed.
Mm-hmm.
He
Jeez.
came up, did like a dance, like blah, blah, blah. Fucking Jerry D's like, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing? Jerry D's also just like, he's not like
love
Steve
Jerry
Harvey. He's more punishing for sure on
Okay.
stage. He's way more sarcastic and way more like,
I love Jerry D.
yeah, he's way more like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
This guy comes on stage, dances, there's a bunch of fucking kicks, bombs, absolutely bombs. We see him and his entire family after when we're all flooding out of the studio, just
Yeah.
like pushing the stroller out. This guy's just like, fucking, what the
Oh,
fuck?
man.
So sad.
He had a full like 4 to 5 minutes to think about what his answers were going to be. Could not come up with them.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure, man. Probably when the lights are on you and you're like
He was
studio audience.
he
You're
was
like,
amped enough to dance, shake his ass for the crowd.
That's fair.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on
That's
there.
crazy.
But yes, as far as acting goes, I think that is probably the craziest part to me is like retaking shit over
Yeah.
and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
And I've worked on pretty big like shows,
Yeah.
like NBC shows. I don't want to name names, but like there's actors where they're like these lead actors and they're
Yeah.
terrible. They
Yeah.
have to do takes over and over and over again. And I'm like, you know, and one of the roles I've had is like to be like a line reader with the principal cast of a show. And so if I tell you the show, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. So I don't want to say it, but like, you know, it's like you could be this lead character of a show and still really
Mhm.
suck at acting.
Mhm.
And like I was there to like help him run the lines over and over, and I was like, I'm tired. I want to go home.
Was it
How do you get to that position?
was that show about the fucking dog wash thing?
I played the fifth.
It was, I think. I think it was. Oh, was it Simu Liu?
Huh?
I think that guy sucks.
Yeah, he sucks.
Who?
Simu
Simu?
Liu.
Who's that?
What a fucking tool, yo.
Shang-Chi, fucking
He's a dick.
Kim's Convenience.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Went to the same program at school, so he always showed up to like all these like talks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He's caked though. He's caked.
How do you get to that level though? If like nobody likes you, you're not actually a good actor.
He went from
Yeah,
Kim's
that-
Convenience to fucking Shang-Chi, and now he's like a dragon on Dragon's
Oh,
Den.
okay. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Fucking
about.
hate that
Yeah.
guy. No, I don't hate him, but I hate the idea of him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That part.
Yeah.
Bar.
And now I remember bad actors. Okay,
Oh yes.
Zendaya is dog, right? For the most part,
Dog? Like what does that mean?
bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about that one either.
She's good in very particular roles where it feels like she's just being
Oh.
herself.
I thought she was great in Euphoria.
She was sick in Challengers.
Yes.
I didn't watch all of Euphoria. She was good in Euphoria, but the major production pictures I've seen her in, I'm just like, what the hell? Dune?
Uh-huh.
Dude, I feel like her and Timmy
Hmm.
tanked that movie for
But that,
everybody.
is that just bad? Is that just bad casting or is that
It
bad
is.
acting?
It is.
So what are you
again,
more
I'm
mad
not-
at? You
I'm
know,
not
that's-
making large, distinct comments about these people, but like, I have to say things a little bit more flagrantly. We need bites.
Yeah, we do need.
We
You
need
guys aren't giving me
bites,
anything.
bro.
Yeah.
Like what?
But
Yeah.
I
What's
give
your-
you so many good bites. What are you talking
You
about?
did, but we need bites of me too. I'm trying to get famous too.
He's trying to get canceled. You're trying to get famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to get famous.
And I'm just here.
That entire movie, everybody is trying, and as soon as she starts talking, she talks like she just stepped out of her house.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
No
that's bad
accents,
casting,
no attempt at any
Yeah.
emotion. It's just like fucking Javier Bardem's doing this whole thing, and then she starts talking.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, we can't do that because then he would put Timmy in danger.
man.
and I wouldn't like that.
That's funny. It's like when you see like a Victorian piece and the lead actress has like lip filler and shit, and you're like, yo, you guys weren't getting
Yeah,
fucking.
what the fuck?
You guys were getting BBLs back when like Queen Elizabeth was around this shit. Like
That'd be a
this-
sick show though, Bridgerton,
Yeah,
but
holy
all
shit.
lip fillers.
Yo, we'll edit that out because like that's
Yeah, we gotta keep that IP.
that might be.
You wanna produce that?
might be the
Yes,
There you
I
go.
will.
one.
No,
Thank you.
Can I be the only au naturel girl there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
You could be like the house warden or something.
Okay, I gotta be the house warden if I got the regular lips.
No,
okay.
I think you just run everybody else's lives.
Yeah. There you go.
You just like, and then in your dorm you have like chess pieces where it's just these big BBL chess pieces.
Damn.
And just like, today I'm gonna pet
Yo,
Yo, that's fucking funny.
No, when I went to Miami, I was in Miami for like a weekend. Don't ask me why, but everyone in Miami, every single person, doesn't matter if you're like the pool cleaner, if you're fucking, everyone has a BBL. Like our server, I'm like, yo, you don't need this much ass to like bring me like a beer. You know what I mean? It
Those
was
tables got to be
crazy.
mad far apart.
They were like, you know, full on lengths.
Extra far distance. Yeah, on the
Absolutely.
tables.
And they all walk sideways and shit because it's just like
You walk sideways.
the BBLs were, and they're not tasteful BBLs either. Like in Miami, they go as big as possible.
Convenience store BBL jobs, eh?
Convenience
Bodega BBL.
Bodega BBL.
We also run a fucking injection clinic in the back.
So
I love that.
funny.
That's crazy.
I actually have a joke about like my ass. Like that's one of the things I talk about on stage.
You have a
but-
BBL as well, or is
No,
that, no?
no, I don't. It's au natural, but she's pretty big. She's pretty big, and I talk about like how now everyone has BBLs, like it's a natural thing.
It
but like
is,
back
yeah.
in the day, you guys remember when J-Lo's ass was like the biggest thing? It was J-Lo
I don't remember.
and me.
Is you and J-Lo?
You and J-Lo?
You guys were
J-Lo.
competing for the next spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have heard your name
That's
somewhere.
funny.
That makes sense.
But now I feel like BBLs are kind of falling off, like trend wise.
Oh, really?
Can we talk about J-Lo for a sec?
Yeah, let's do
Do
it.
you want to talk about J-Lo? That's it.
Is she doing a movie about herself?
She already
She already did.
Is she doing another movie about herself?
Stop.
No.
This girl needs to stop. Just stop, J-Lo, please. God,
that shit
I
on
love
Prime
you so
Video?
much, but just
I don't think I've heard anyone that wants to be relevant.
so bad. Do you guys
That's
see
wild.
this
I'm looking
clip
it up.
online of like her performing on stage, and then they like pan to like the 300s,
No.
and there's like nobody there.
No, really?
And then she was selling her tickets for like $6.80 just to get people to fill in the seats. Yeah.
$6.80. That's cheaper than a
Girl,
Big Mac
you
meal.
can't
yes.
sing. You're beautiful. Just stop. Just relax. Relax.
You're
Live
already
your
up.
life.
You're already up.
You've been up.
You already don't need to do all this.
You're 50 plus. Just be home.
People, I remember everyone was like,
What's up, man?
What?
How you doing? Just come on in.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
Just sit
I
next to
remember everyone
Moose
was
here.
going
That's
crazy
Dan.
over the fucking,
Behind you.
what was it? The orange drink? Like, what's your bodega order? And she's like, orange drink.
Oh.
If you know, you know. And then
Yo.
there was like, everyone in New York was like, I don't know what the orange drink is.
I thought, yeah, I seen this already.
What is it? Let me see.
So it's not new, I guess. But they're pushing the ad to me right now. This is me now, a love story.
Oh,
by
wait,
Jen-
no, yeah, that is, yeah.
Came out, right?
Yeah, on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting the ad now.
I haven't seen it, but I know it's
I'm
like,
not exactly sure what I've done that makes them think I want to watch this.
You just typed in J-Lo, and J-Lo's people made you see it.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
now you're about to see every
okay.
ad.
Last thing I have to ask you, what is your current algorithm?
Whoa.
That's a good
Mine is
question.
currently
Nice.
Christian content. And what was it? I forget
You
now.
were doing Christian, but it was like carry and conceal Christian content.
Yeah, concealed carry Christian content.
And it was what was it?
Son of a bitch, I forget now.
Yeah, I remember you showed it to me too. I can't remember. All I have is Christian. All I remember is you showing me the random Christian content.
Whatever. There's this chick on IG. She's like petite, relatively. Puts on whatever, a nice cardigan, whatever. She's going to church. And then right before the video ends, she pulls up her sweater and every single week she's got a different concealed carry on her before going to church.
What?
And now I get a lot of Christian content.
That's kind of
Because
fire.
you watched
though.
that one time.
No, what? I flipped through her entire feed to see
Oh,
if it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. The Lord finds you in mysterious ways.
I'm good, but go crazy.
I'm okay. Thank you.
I'm okay, remember? Yeah,
This guy's got to drive. He's got to be a safe guy.
I do. Thank you for looking out for me in that way.
What's your algorithm?
So I have babies.
Babies?
LOL. I have hairstyles, a lot of fashion stuff, singers, and like cute animal shit.
That's not that wild.
Damn, that's like a.
Yeah.
I thought
I'm
it'd be
just a
wilder.
girl, you guys.
I was
I'm
gonna
just a
say,
girl.
yeah.
I am
I thought it'd be
literally just a
wilder.
girl.
I thought it'd be crazy.
Yeah, nothing groundbreaking there.
Nothing
That's good.
groundbreaking,
Son of a
yeah.
bitch, I'm forgetting.
I feel like you have a healthy relationship with social media, and that's what that tells me.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to like log out, and then
You actually like log out. You go into the menu and hit the log out button.
yeah,
There's a bit.
it
in
wastes so much of my time.
There's
I
a bit
cannot.
in there somewhere for sure.
What, logging out of social
Yeah,
media?
logging out of
I mean,
social
I do.
media.
I have a whole bit about like Instagram and how I use Instagram.
Oh yes, I also get a lot of India content.
Indian
You do?
content?
Like
Indian like gym memes are crazy.
I get a shit ton. Yeah, like
No, I get crazy like.
What are you doing? Where is his head?
Yeah, no, I get shit like this.
You ever get the ones where the guy's like fighting the fucking meat with his meat? With his toe?
Are you talking about the street food videos?
Videos?
Yeah, the street food videos are crazy. Yeah.
Who is this man?
I don't know, but
My favorite ones are the Uncle Fits. You know, like the Uncle Fit checks. It's
No,
like these like
what?
weird uncles that are like,
Start posting like
these are my shoes. This is my
Yo.
shirt. Like what?
favorite is that one guy that just runs Travis Scott videos, but he's like this farmer in Punjab.
Oh, yeah. What's the one? Have you seen? Have you seen the one that?
Oh, don't do that.
This is a lot of.
Oh, I've seen these.
do
I've seen these too.
Oh man,
It's a whole genre,
that's
man.
so weird.
I'll find and send you concealed carry later. Oh, this guy's a classic.
That's that knee surgery.
Longinder, you ever seen this guy?
Knee extension surgery.
Longinder going crazy, bro.
Longinder.
Yo.
Oh, I also get this scary shit. You into scary shit?
No.
All right, then we'll show you
Fuck
this.
that. Fuck the scary shit.
No one's into scary shit.
You're trying to rot her brain with all this, like.
Yeah, no.
She has a
that's
healthy
probably
algorithm,
why
and
I
he's
get
like,
so
"Well,
much
look at
bullshit.
this."
Fuck.
Let me fuck up your algorithm.
Let me find concealed carry of the day before we wrap. You guys keep talking while I find this
Oh,
concealed
man.
carry.
I don't even want to know.
Of
what my
the
algorithm is.
day.
I can't even check.
What's
I'm
on
like
your?
nervous to check what my algorithm is, honestly.
No, what about you guys? What's on your algorithm?
Okay, I'll check. Just for you.
Cho, what's on your
You
algorithm?
hear about how Instagram's trying to give you like a reset button?
Yeah. You reset your whole algorithm?
Can you reset your
No way.
You can do it right now by going
That might-
into settings and removing interests, but
Yeah, like I don't even want to.
I'm not doing that.
This is why I log out. I don't have time. I can't be bothered.
Yes, here we go.
Food and outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just brain rot.
See the concealed carry yet?
Yes.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of defeats the
Check
purpose.
this.
You're not supposed to see
So it's
the strap.
No, she's hiding it. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
puts
She
it
just
down.
Oh, but you could
flashes her-
tell.
her
No,
Glock
she
4
lifts it
live
up to show us.
under
Oh.
perspective.
Like at church.
Right
No, I
before
got
hitting
you. I got
church.
you.
Yeah,
Why
maybe
do you need
don't.
to be
Maybe
strapped
go
up
to a
at church?
different
Like,
church.
that makes
bro.
no
What the
sense,
fuck?
America.
You gotta fight the demons of the.
America.
Her boyfriend too.
Yeah, he's like so proud of her.
Yeah.
That's
right?
my wife.
So funny. Anyways, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
This is cool.
that was a
This is
quick
cool.
hour. Honestly, we ripped through that.
Yeah, that was great.
You
Yeah.
really did.
Is there anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, plug anything
What do you got
coming
coming
up.
up?
Oh man.
No clue when this will be out, but they're usually pretty fast. So I don't know.
Okay.
Shoot for
When's your next stroke?
yeah.
Ooh. My next show is November 29th at SoCap Theater on the Downforth. I'm producing another show in New York. I just produced one last week. That
Sick.
sold out.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep going stateside. So yeah, if
Yeah.
anyone's in New York and wants to come see me, I'm taking a break for a while. So like, yeah, I guess follow me on social media.
Yeah.
Curry Bradshaw on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah. We'll talk again after you
Oh,
do
yeah.
the shows and shit too. Come
Yeah,
back.
for
Come back.
sure.
What's up?
We gotta come
Anytime.
out to a show.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
we
you
gotta
guys
do.
should come for
Absolutely.
sure.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was cool.
Yeah,
And
thanks
that's
for
friends.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
That's it.
Another one down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Imagine it. Good job. What's up? Travis. Good man. Yeah, I just like super chill that.